All right. Hey guys. So welcome to 50 is a Mindfuck. And this is, I guess, would be my introduction, because something that I forgot to do is do an introduction about what this whole thing is really all about. So, I do follow Gary Vee a lot, and he said, just do it. So I started doing my podcast, which we are doing one today. But I recognized that I hadn't done a sort of the premise of what this whole thing is about. So really what this is about is sort of for myself, when I turned 50, that was sort of a milestone looking back. My dad got sick quickly and died quickly. And I have to say that, like, in a moment, which really wasn't a moment, but if I look back, like from May to November, that's basically what the time frame was. I feel like my whole body, mind, heart, soul, tolerance shifted. My view of everything shifted. But what was around me and surrounding me were friends of mine who were a little older, a little under 50, but I recognize that we all are going through these really, really poignant and life-changing times. Now, it's not to say that before you go become 50 that you aren't going through life-changing moments and stressful times and the things that shape our lives, but I think we're so busy raising our children, sometimes our husbands, running careers, running our homes, the list goes on and on and on, but you're so busy. For argument, I'll say the first 49 years. And again, this is just a quick description of the time frame. I think that for me, the death of my dad, which was the first major death, well, it's a lie. My brother did die at 52, but he was like that brother that, like, the drunkle, he just died young. And believe it or not, our family was just a family of 4. Some of you guys have much bigger families, much smaller. Your problems are much more insurmountable, much less, but we all are riding and pulling our own wagon that is heavy nevertheless. But anyway, something shifted in me. So like when my dad died, like, I'm a triager. I don't know how you guys all navigate your stresses, but some people fall down. Some people drink too much, which doesn't mean I've never done that. And actually at that time I decided to stop drinking. So I was super clear because I was the leader of my family by default, because the 4 of us now were 2, my mom. And I don't know. My mom, when the death happened in November, I was just, again, triaging everybody, my children, obviously my dad's grandchildren, my career. I'm a commissioned real estate agent. So you have to be on point. You can't really be down for long or you are trampled over. In my industry, you got to stay on it. Nature did give me a way to take care of what I needed to take care of at that time. But nevertheless, around February, after November, when my dad died, is when I saw my mom, who's still mourning, by the way. It's been just about 4 years. And this has been in my head since that time, like, what a fucking shit show this is. So this podcast is to speak very, very frankly and very openly about being 50. Going back to where I was headed in February is really where I started to, like, I suppose figuratively turn around and look at my life, like whether it be the things that I'm insecure about, my marriage, my career, my relationship with my mother, who I'm still working on, what I'm still working on, the way people would treat me, just where I was sitting in my life, what I'll tolerate no longer, what I will tolerate, what things don't matter to me anymore, what things do really matter to me. For example, I'm traveling. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I'll go by myself. But all of a sudden I'm like, I got 50 years left. That's it. If I got to 50 and this was this quick, and it's been an awesome life, don't get me wrong. But I recognize that, I got 50 years left. But then it opened up this whole conversation where I was headed was sex, the quality of life I have with my career, my relationship, my husband. I just as an example, I left him and I was done with his bullshit. I was done. Not only that, I was done with other people's bullshit. And I was going to finally speak for what I was needing and deserving in life, which some of you might be like, oh, psst, I've been doing that my whole life, or that's old news. But for me, that was my journey. But when I started Googling and trying to find help, I couldn't find anything online that was, I suppose, like me. A lot of people are very old grandma-y, old, sorry to say, like Mr. and Mrs. Claus. And a lot of people have old thinking. I'm very young spirited. I couldn't find the resources that I needed over and above like hospice care, or I just feel like I couldn't find what I needed online. Doesn't mean it's not out there, but then I started really Googling and searching for any kind of forums or discussions on how fucked up being 50 really is. And it's wonderful. I mean, like the confidence and the sexuality and the drive and the place in my heart and my soul and my head where I'm at for the first time in my life is all coming together. Now, that's my journey. Doesn't mean it's yours. But when talking to my friends about the things that they have and are going through, it's really opened my eyes to, when you get a doctor's appointment and you get the call for a test, you're like, oh, fuck, is this it? You didn't think that at 20 or 30 or maybe 40. It doesn't mean it doesn't happen. But now where I call it waiting to catch the football, and there'll be a themed, probably a post. If you're on Instagram, please follow me at 50 is a Mindfuck. And there are some subject matters there. I'd love you guys to send me your take on it if you want. But I think that I felt like there needed to be a place to speak openly about what's happening. So having a guest on each time to discuss their circumstances. One of the gals I had on lost her husband around 4 years ago. She's a year older than I am, but he died 4 years ago at 53. Long, arduous illness. And just like each journey I felt was worth showing. Most of the forums that I was finding online were just really depressing. And I think there's a lot of awesomeness to being 50. There's a lot of living your life to its biggest, boldest gusto, taking a bite out of life, and really, really not letting life pass you by, because guess what? It has been. And it may. And I think you guys can say, oh, I know people like that. I'll say my husband, for example, life is passing him by. Doesn't make him a bad guy. I'm just not going to I am going to go get life. I'm planning on, I went to Thailand last year with a friend of mine who you'll have seen if you've watched the podcast. I'm planning on going to Japan in this next September. We're in COVID right now, in case you guys can refer back to this time. Yay, such good times. But I know that I need to live my best life. I know I need to live my strongest life. I know I need to live my healthiest life. I was kind of dead, but this is go time now, you guys. So you're going to hear a lot of F-bombs. You might hear the C word, which could be cancer. It could be cunt. It could be COVID. I don't know. But the space of trying to be like everybody else is done for me anyway. And I hope that this will speak to you guys as far as if you're listening and you are just like, ugh, make the change. You can do it. If I can do it, anybody can do it. Spent most of my life pleasing everybody. Spent most of my life working my asshole off, which I still do. That's just the way I roll. I am the breadwinner in my home. My husband has the benefits, but I make the money. So I have a heavy, heavy burden. I have my mother who's 82. She's healthy and she got a vicious mouth. She's healthy for the most part, but I recognize that I have a role that will be really, really important to her, which I think now, I want to say I've maybe replaced my dad a little bit, which is a whole other subject in itself. But I'm going to finally take charge of me from now on. It's going to be no question. And with the utmost joy and the utmost awesomeness that I can even bring to myself in my life. So I do hope you enjoy these podcasts. Again, please message me if you have any ideas or if you have any subject matter. I really want to talk to you guys too about secrets that you've told nobody, thoughts you've had that you're maybe embarrassed to tell anybody else. Send them my way. Again, look for me on Instagram, or you can probably message me through YouTube. I'm not even sure if you can do that. Anyway, that's all, you guys. Peace out. And I hope you enjoy the podcasts as they come. I'll talk to you soon.